What's going on? Welcome back to the Huddle. Round 18 is complete, and there were a few ups and downs over the round, with the likes of Jarrod Croker copping a nasty looking injury, and then the likes of Will Hopoate going absolutely massive. So here you can see my score from round 18. My team's here, the Huddle on the left hand side. Hopoate went absolutely massive, but I have to admit, before Team List Tuesday last week, I was considering playing Kurt Mann, who was coming up against the Tigers in front of Will Hopoate. But luckily, Mann was named on the bench, so I brought Hopoate straight back in. And if you look at Will Hopoate here, 135 points with only really a try assist and a line break assist there for that try he set up. And what's amazing is this 10 effective offloads for 40 points. Now, I know the Bulldogs aren't up the top of the table or in the top 8 or anything, but Will Hopoate seems to be one of the main attacking threats there at the Bulldogs, so I'm hoping with a couple of nights' upcoming fixtures, he'll be able to get another set of decent scores. There were some other solid performances out there. You can see Cook, Cody, Reece Martin, Sam Burgess all did really well. Captain Cam Smith this week, he did okay. It's not an amazing captain score, but 62 points there, doubled up to 124. It's okay. Could have definitely been a bit worse. It's a bit disappointing when he's been tunning up a lot, but 124 points, can't complain too much with that. The main disappointments there was Tommy Turbo. He looked pretty tired after Origin. He only got 27 points. Ewan Aitken only got 37, all in base though. And if I scroll down a little bit more, you can see Kurt Mann's 20 points came into my team's score. He was an automatic emergency because the first trade I made was Tohu Harris to Jai Arrow. I had to make that trade a bit earlier because the Warriors were playing a couple of games before the Titans, and I saw some word on Twitter that he might be getting rested, but I thought, you know what, if he doesn't play, at least I'll have him in the squad for next week, round 19. So you can see there, Jai Arrow, a D and P did not play. And the other trade I did make, Lewis here from the Bulldogs came in for AJ Brimson to free up about 100k. 36 points, not amazing, but if the likes of Sean Johnson, my other half, if he goes down for a week, I wouldn't feel too confident playing Lewis, but if his base stats are okay for 1 week, if you're low on trades, he might be a decent cover there. And another concern is Jason Taumalolo only getting 50 points there. I think he only played around 54 minutes, which coming off a bye round, he should have been well rested. I'm not sure what's going on there, but he's the type of player that you could leave out of your starting 17, and then he just goes absolutely massive, turns into beast mode, gets his offload going, and can easily just ton up in base stats. So I am considering leaving him out of my starting 17 for this next round, coming up against the Dragons, but something I'll definitely be having to think about, and that could be a very risky move. So the total score, if we scroll down here for round 18, was 1,125, and we've got to thank mainly there Will Hopoate for going absolutely massive despite copping an AE of 20 points. For this round, if we go and have a look at the team score and the rank, you can see here 1,125 was a round 18 rank of 1,578. So that's the second best round ranking for the Huddle for this season. It moves us into the top 1,000. We've gone up 412 places and now sit at 722nd. So for the second time this season, we're inside the top 1k. We're achieving our goal. Let's hope we can just back this up with some more decent scores. 7 rounds to go. Can we stay in the top 1k? Can we get that Supercoach keyring by finishing in the top 1k? Let's hope so. So the round 19 teams have been released, but before we have a chat about that and some trade ideas and look at our starting 17 and captain option, let me know how your team went in round 18, whether you're a head-to-head player or an overall player. Let me know how you went. Did you have Hopoate? Did you cop Croker's injury? And let me know what trades you're thinking of making. So the round 19 teams have been released, and there's a bit of news coming out of those. For the Roosters, Ryan Madison's named on the bench, so if you do have him, I probably wouldn't play him this round. If you're looking to get him in, like myself, I'd love to have an 80-minute player playing in the second row in my centres, but I need to see him play that 80-minute game first before jumping on Ryan Madison. Cameron Munster has been named there for the Storm. He's back after suffering that injury in Origin. Kurt Mann was named on the bench last week, and he is again named on the bench, but I'd be super surprised if Nene McDonald kept his starting spot after copping that foot injury. And Jai Arrow, he's named in the number 13 jersey. I hope he gets decent minutes against the Knights. TPJ at the Broncos has been named in the number 12 jersey. He's in the starting 17, but make sure you check the team list release 1 hour before the game to confirm that. I'm leaning towards not including him in my starting 17 at the moment, just because his minutes are up in the air. The likes of Ryan James, Surgis, they've been playing more minutes. Marty DePau, he's in great form, so TPJ, it's a bit of a risk there to include him in my starting 17. At the Raiders, Nick Kotrick's been named back on the wing. Brad Abbey's in the fullback position, and Jordan Rapana's there. He got through his last game. He's on the wing. And at the Panthers, Josh Mansell's been named. He's shown in the past that he can go large on the wing there. He has a great work ethic, but very risky to jump on him straight away. Maybe give him a week or two to see how he's going. So that's the news. Here's the team. I've got 5 trades left, and looking at my starting 17, I'm leaning towards just holding trades this round. I was looking to bring in Ryan Madison in my centers, but he's coming off the bench, so I think I've got a decent 17 to play this round without needing to stress to bring in another gun. And as we saw with Croker, it's always good to have a couple of trades just in case there's those season-ending injuries. So for the huddle this round, I'm looking at just saving those trades. Now a big decision this week is the starting 17. Pangai Jr., spoke about him a bit earlier. He is starting in the starting 17 for the Broncos there, but I'm just not sure he'll play 80 minutes. If I knew that he was playing 80 minutes on the edge, I'd lean towards bringing him in. But with the likes of James, Surgis and Tapau the way they're going, I'm thinking of playing them in front of TPJ. But let me know in the comment section. Do you think Ryan James is dropping off a little bit and it's worth playing TPJ? Let me know. In the second row, it's pretty obvious there. I've got these 2 nuffs, leaving them out. I'm hoping Staggs doesn't become an AE nightmare as he is named on the bench there. But the big decision you can see here, my reserves at the moment, down the bottom I've got Teddy, Gerbo, Ryan James and Cam Smith. But Widdop is not selected there. Obviously, I'd love to play him. He is coming up against the Cowboys. But speaking of the Cowboys, Jason Taumalolo got low minutes last week. I don't know what's going on, but as I said, it's super risky not to include him as we've seen what he can do in base stats. Is it worth playing Widdop over the likes of maybe Ryan James? I'm definitely not going to leave Cam Smith out, Jake Trbojevic, Tedesco out, especially after having a week's rest. So let me know, I'm pretty stuck at the moment to just lock in that last reserve player. Being a back, Widdop is riskier. He won't have those solid base stats, but Taumalolo will get those base stats, but I'm just not sure how many minutes he's going to get this weekend. And looking at the captain and vice captain combo, I'm looking at either Reece Martin or Will Hopewade as my vice captain there, coming up against the Eels on Thursday night. Now, Will Hopewade went absolutely massive, and he could have even gone larger. He was so close to setting up another try and even scoring a try for himself. Now, obviously Reece Martin's got the goal kicking, so they might be able to put a few points on the Eels, who knows. But Will Hopewade is a go-to man in the Bulldogs attack, so I don't know if he'll be able to do it again. He might. So at the moment, Will Hopewade is my vice captain. We're going back up the top here. Damien Cook, he seems to be solidifying himself as a solid go-to captain option. He's coming up against the Tigers on Saturday, so I'll be able to use my nuff of Ellis if I want to use the VC loophole. So at the moment, I'm leaning towards Damien Cook, but let me know in the comments section, do you think Cam Smith against the Warriors? Or what about Jai Arrow coming up against the Knights? There's a few options out there this week. Be sure to comment down below about your captain and vice captain combo. So I hope your team's going well. Remember, there's 7 rounds to go. All the best with your trade decisions. And just a reminder, the first game is back on Thursday at 7:50 this week. Check those team lists released 1 hour before the game. Thanks to those who are getting involved in the comments section and those who have already subscribed. If you're new or if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. There's weekly videos. Hope your team goes really well this week. Let's go.